So welcome to Paul Raine's presentation about the tool that he himself created, promoted, and is all about, like it identifies him. And it's one of the very unique ones to be powered by AI, Eigo.AI. And if you want to have a look, it's actually the website is called Eigo.AI. I met Paul in Japan and I was like impressed by his nerdy, techie, his love for technology. Paul is an award-winning teacher, presenter, author, and developer. His books include the best-selling 50 Ways to Teach with Technology and the innovative multi-path graded reader Journey to Mars. He has helped design, develop several websites for teachers and learners of EFL, including ABAX. ABAX, you might have to paste that into the text chat. Zengengo. He has published numerous research articles on the teaching and learning of English as a second language and is particularly interested in computer-assisted language learning. That's Carl. This is where we met, child Carl in Nagoya, and he currently lives and teaches English in Osaka in Japan. Thank you very much for joining us, Paul. Over to you.
Thank you, Heike, and it's great to see you again after all this time. So I'll jump right in. I'll start sharing my screen. 1 second. Okay, is everyone receiving this okay now? Okay. Yep. Okay, so my name is Paul, and I'm here to talk about Eigo.AI, which we believe is the world's first fully AI-powered 4-skills platform for English language learners. And I'm delighted to be here speaking at EdTech Tools. So in this presentation, I'm going to cover these 4 points. First of all, the AI disruption of English language teaching. Secondly, core AI technologies in ELT. Thirdly, how the Eigo.AI platform tries to bring it all together. And finally, demonstration of the platform. So, unless you've been living under a rock for the past 2 years, you're aware of the extreme impact that the recent advances in AI, particularly generative AI, have had on all industries and all aspects of education, and ELT is no exception. ChatGPT was the fastest growing consumer application in history across any category. It had 100 million monthly active users in the first 2 months of being released. Now, 32.4% of college students in Japan say they use ChatGPT, not just for language learning, but for other subjects as well, I imagine. And finally, the digital English language learning market is estimated to grow from by $14 billion from 2021 to 2026. So there's going to be a huge impact on the materials that we use as teachers and the way that students learn languages and the way that we teach languages. Indeed, some people are predicting the end of language learning. I'm not quite at that point yet. I think we'll continue to learn languages, and let's see how AI can support us in doing that. So there are certain kinds of AI that are particularly relevant to ELT. And I think the top 4 are ASR, automatic speech recognition, text-to-speech, TTS, machine translation, MT, and generative AI, also known as Gen AI. Let's go through these one by one. So ASR has been around for quite a long time, but it's now at a very kind of advanced level. This is an example of the ASR that's used by Eigo.AI. Basically, it allows students to listen and repeat sentences and get feedback on their accuracy, fluency, and completeness. If they click on any of the words in the sentence, they can see down to a phonetic level what their pronunciation issues are. Next is text-to-speech, and we know that, again, this is progressing very, very rapidly, and it now sounds almost indistinguishable from natural human speech. In Eigo.AI, we use text-to-speech in combination with virtual avatars. So this lady on the right here is actually an avatar, although she's based on a real human being. She's an avatar in the sense that what you program her to say, the real human being version of her never actually said. So you can program her to say things, whatever you want, as long as it's appropriate to the educational process. So here we have a lesson about coffee drinking. And this provides a very compelling source of comprehensible input. So if you're thinking about your crash-in kind of approach to language learning, we need to give students plenty of exposure to comprehensible input to learn a language. Next, machine translation. This has caused, I think, language teachers the most concern. Of course, professional translators also have been, figuring out how to use it and integrate it into their profession. I think language teachers are concerned that students will use it to simply write passages in their L1 and then translate into their L2 and then hand in the L2 version without even reading it. And that wouldn't result in any kind of learning. So we have to decide how to integrate MT into the curriculum. The way that Eigo.AI does this is that we use it to translate words in context. Now, traditionally, word lookup functions have not been very good at doing this because they don't understand the context in which the word appears. So, for example, a traditional word lookup function would give you the turkey as the animal, and it would give you Turkey as the country. It wouldn't know the difference, you know. But here in Eigo.AI, we can use generative AI in combination with machine translation to give students the definition of the word in context and also localized to their L1. So in this case, the definition is provided in Turkish. If we prefer to give students the definition in English, we can do that as well. And the definition will be provided in the learner's level, so either beginner, intermediate, or advanced level. The definition should never be harder than the word it is defining, otherwise it is counterproductive. You don't want to say that a dog is a four-limbed mammal. You want to say that a dog is a common pet that we, keep in our house. So the definition should never be harder than the word it is defining. And finally, generative AI, the past 2 years, of course, since the release of ChatGPT, have been really disruptive in many, many different ways. And we're all basically scrambling to come to terms with what it means for our profession. At Eigo.AI, we use it to generate passages in different levels. So we have a beginner level passage about coffee drinking, an intermediate level passage about coffee drinking, and an advanced level passage. So it's the same topic and the same lesson. It's just that the actual text is a little bit more advanced as you go up the levels. Now, in my tests with GPT, actually, we have found that it doesn't understand the Sephora levels well enough to accurately reproduce like A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. So that's why we use these kind of more generic labels: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Now, Eigo.AI has a library of content which is growing daily. Of course, ChatGPT and other technologies have made us much more efficient and allows us to produce content more quickly. However, we shouldn't just be kicking out meaningless content, hour after hour, day after day. The content on Eigo.AI is curated and it is proofread by humans because we know that GPT and other LLMs are not always accurate in terms of their factual accuracy, in terms of their grammatical accuracy. GPT-4 does a lot better on this than GPT 3.5, for example, but it still does make mistakes. So you do have to curate the outputs and you do have to proofread the output. Now, we also use in Eigo.AI, we also allow students to get feedback on their writing. So here we had this quite sophisticated question, and then the student just wrote, "I love coffee." And of course, they were not awarded a very high score for that. In Eigo.AI, we score students' writing across 5 criteria: punctuation, spelling and grammar, vocabulary and word choice, coherence, relevance to question, details, reasons, and examples. These are criteria that have stood the test of time and that I have, used consistently over my 20-year career as an EFL teacher, and I'm sure that other teachers in the room have used a similar set of criteria as well. We also support the languages on the right here. So the feedback can be given to the student in their L1. Again, with lower level students, this has always been a perennial problem. How do you give metalinguistic feedback on student writing to a beginner level learner of English? You can't, because they don't understand what you're saying. The explanation is more complicated than the text. So to get around that, we can translate the feedback into the student's L1. So Eigo.AI brings it all together. It was launched in January 2023. We now have over 6,500 registered users, over 1,000 monthly active users. It's been through successful pilots at my university, Ritsumeikan, and also at Kyushu Sangyo, Kindai University, Bologna University. We have over 200 lessons and it's growing daily. All 4 skills are covered in every lesson, and there are 3 levels of difficulty for every lesson. It's a web app, so you don't need to download anything. The students don't need to worry about downloading applications onto their phone. They simply power up their web browser and away they go. And there are free and paid accounts available. So this is the part where I start sweating because things always go wrong in live demonstrations, but I'll try to demonstrate the platform a little bit. Could someone update me on how much time I have left?
1 minute.
Okay. Well, you know
Okay,
what? I might just.
we'll give you 5 maximum, yeah? Okay.
Oh, okay. I'll very quickly just kind of flip through the site then. Okay. Let me go here. So this is what Eigo.AI looks like. This is the library of content here. This is how you switch levels. So you'll see it's the same lessons, but the text becomes more difficult. Okay. Let me jump into a lesson here on exploring the depths of the ocean. You'll see we have 7 activity types covering all 4 skills: watch, listen, read, speak, review, write, and discuss. Discuss is the latest activity type and allows the student to talk, to have a discussion with the AI, and it will actually save a transcript of the discussion that can be viewed by the teacher. And the discussion is also can be assessed with the same 5 criteria that we use for the writing tasks. Here is the writing feedback here, and there's some vocabulary review activities and speaking activity here. You can see I talked about being able to dig down and see exactly where you made the pronunciation mistake in your speaking. The text-to-speech is cutting edge. You can listen to that. Let me try and just make sure I'm sharing my sound. Okay, and then we can listen.
The ocean is full of mystery.
Okay, you can see it's virtually indistinguishable from real human speech.
Many animals live deep in the ocean.
And it's quite expressive as well.
These animals can be very big, like whales, or very small, like shrimp.
Okay. Then we have some reading passages. You can actually look up the words by clicking on them. And if you've selected a beginner level, the definition of the word will be a beginner level definition. And you can change the definitions of the words also to your L1. So there are some similarities with the previous platform that was just demonstrated, but with this platform, all of the content is made for you. In my previous company, actually, we found that some teachers do like to create their own materials, but many of them simply don't have the time, and they want the library of content to be there and ready to go on day 1 and not have to sit for hours making their own materials. Okay, I think I will end there and invite any questions. Okay, thank you.
So is it not possible to create your own material, or is it simply not?
Well, actually, I should mention, yes, we do allow institutions to create custom lessons. So what they do is simply send us a list of topics, or they will send us a list of texts they want to use, and then we would create the lessons for them.
Okay.
And there's some other questions in the chat that I'll go back and try to answer. So there was a question from Chris Fry. At the moment, the discussions are in text. So basically, let me go to an example where it isn't submitted yet. Okay, let me go to this intermediate one. Oh, hang on, that's also, let me go to the advanced version here. Okay, click on Start Discussion.
Hi there. Let's talk about exploring the depths of the ocean. What do you know about this topic?
So it's kind of mixed. So the text that's being presented to the student is written and spoken, and then the reply is typed. So I would love to be a deep sea diver. Okay. Then it will take a few moments to come up with a response to that reply.
That's quite an adventurous aspiration. Considering the harsh conditions cited in the passage, such as extreme pressure and cold, what particularly draws you to deep sea exploration?
So because we're on the advanced mode now, you get phrases like, adventurous aspiration and
That's
harsh,
quite an adventurous
harsh
aspiration.
conditions.
Considering the harsh conditions cited in the passage.
And so, yeah, you can click it again to replay the audio at any time. So at the moment it's a text chat, but with audio. So the reason for that is we have to balance the pedagogical impact with the cost. Like, how much more pedagogically effective is it for the cost of having to transcribe the speech? And so, eventually we probably will implement a spoken version of the dialogue, but at the moment it's like this. And Magdalena was asking, is it paid or freemium? There is a paid plan and a free plan. So anyone can join the site for free. They get 5 minutes of speech recognition per month, and they get 2,000 AI tokens per month. And then at the moment, we only have free plans and institutional plans. We are hoping to launch a plan for independent individual learners. Joshua is asking what speech recognition. We use a third-party library developed by Microsoft. It can be tuned into either British English, American English, and I believe some other varieties. The default is American English. Yeah.
Thank you ever so much, Paul. Fantastic. Are you inviting teachers as test users, what's your offering?
Yes, of course. Yes, we are inviting teachers to join. They just have to contact me if you want to be marked as a teacher on the platform and get access to the tracking screen. Sorry, I couldn't show you that because I ran out of time, but all the student engagement with the platform can be tracked in minute detail by the teacher. If you want to get access to the tracking screen, just drop me a line using the contact form, or you can contact me at the email address that I'll put in the chat.
Thank you ever so much.
At gmail. That's my personal email address, or you can use Eigo.